You're listening to a special holiday edition of the Secure Dad Podcast. Discover ways to secure your home, protect your family, and embrace your role as a protector parent. Welcome, friend. I'm Andy Murphy, the creator of the Secure Dad. This podcast serves to help families become proactive in their safety. The information I share on this podcast is for general information purposes only. My goal is to empower you to make safer decisions for yourself and your family. Today we're talking about how to keep our kids safe and healthy while playing video games. We've all heard horror stories about what happens in online gaming, but we're going to separate the good from the bad to empower our families to enjoy safe gaming together. All of that and more ahead on the Secure Dad Podcast. Most home break-ins involve the front door. To bolster it, consider adding a secondary lock to fortify it from kick-in attacks and lockpicking. In my house, I use the flip lock. The flip lock is 10 times stronger than your regular deadbolt alone and can be activated in about a second. Simply flip the lock to add an important layer of defense to your home's most valuable door. It can be used by adults and kids. Flip lock protects my home, and it should protect yours too. Enter to win a flip lock at the link in today's show notes, or use discount code SECUREDAD for 20% off at fliplock.com. That's fliplok.com. I want to remind you that the Secure Dad Holiday Gift Guide is now out. Find the perfect gift for the protector parent on your list, even if it's you. Get what you need at the link in today's show notes, or click on Holiday Gift Guide when you visit thesecuredad.com. And lastly, my free holiday home security guide is available to you. In this guide, I'll walk you through some of the things that you need to do to protect your home this holiday season. Download your copy today. Where else? At the link in today's show notes. Also, stick around after this podcast for a special bonus episode. At the beginning of the year, I made 10 bold predictions for 2022, and we're going to recap it and see how I did. This is just a quick one, just for fun. We are fast approaching the holidays, which means that new video games are going to be under the tree. Now, we can't just blindly give our kids gaming computers, consoles, and whatever game they want without first knowing what we're bringing into our homes. Video games have come a long way since we were kids. My first gaming system was this old paddle pong system that my parents had. Then we upgraded to an Atari 2600. Eventually we got a Sega and then a PlayStation 2. And my dad and I played tons of games together, and I can really say that it helped our relationship and created bonding experiences. So gaming is more than just gaming, and later you'll see why I fully support family gaming, especially for young kids. So first, let's gain a deeper understanding of the most common problems that parents have with video games, and that is really other people. I was very hesitant to let my son play Minecraft. I know some of you are kind of chuckling right now. But when I started researching things for is Minecraft safe for kids, I found tons of articles about freak things that had gone wrong or hyped up articles about small unique issues, and then some of them weren't even real. But in all of this information that I researched, it all pointed back to one thing, and that is how people treated other people. Bad people are going to be bad people no matter if it's in person or online. So an important lesson that we need to teach our kids is that our gaming friends are not really our friends. Many games want you to connect with other players to make the experience better, and when you decide to add someone to your contact list, they call that person a friend. And that's a big distinction. Until the internet, friends are always people that you knew in person. You could talk to them, read their nonverbal behavior, see their responses to the world, and get a better understanding of who they were. Now, the gaming friend is taking over that spot in our kids' minds, and they mentally start to think that their online friends are just like their real friends. So we must make the distinction that online friends are not real friends, and we don't know really who they are. Someone could be a kid the same age as ours, or it could be a 40-year-old with bad intentions. Our kids need to know that not everybody who plays the game is their age or shares their beliefs just like them, which is part of the false consensus effect if you really want to get technical. So we don't know the reality of the situation, and we have to tell our kids to keep a safe distance. And while it may be fine to join up with a person to play a game online, that doesn't mean that they earned real friendship status or access to us. My suggestion, and by no means am I telling you how to parent, but my suggestion is that you set up a system with your child that they must ask your permission to add a friend in their game. This way, you can monitor that person and how they interact with your child. And you, as the parent, have the authority to remove that friend from their game if you say so. You are the parent. Just because it's a video game and you don't know how to play it doesn't mean that your authority as a parent is stifled. By the way, you can have online friends in a game and never actually talk to them. Most games today have a text chat or a voice chat feature, and honestly, that's where things can go sideways. If your kids are small, text and voice chat should be off limits in your home. Personally, I'm not sure that I'm ever going to allow that in my home. I don't even use it when I play because things get really nasty quickly and my gaming experience can be ruined because of a toxic person who can't deal with their emotions. Feelings can get hurt, and if your child is sensitive to that, it can be devastating. Another reason to restrict or ban communication with others is this is how grooming can start. A few episodes ago, I think it's number 205, I referenced a news story from earlier in the year about how a man in Georgia drove out to Kansas after grooming a girl on Roblox. While this is a terrible situation, many people thought that Roblox was the issue, but it's not. The issue is that the groomer got access to the child. The method of how it was done isn't the headline, it's the act itself. Grooming happens online every day, and that includes in video games. Matt Murphy, the CEO of Operation Lightshine, made a post on Instagram about this, and I wanted to share it with you. Matt said of groomers, "I don't need to kidnap your kid. I just need to send them hearts on their latest TikTok dance done in their underwear or the latest Fortnite character skins to build a rapport and start the grooming process." We'll go back to episode 205 again, and I'll remind you that acts of praise and giving gifts can be red flags for grooming behavior. So please consider limiting the communications that your kids have with other people in video games, and honestly online in general. If you remember, Sarah Kimmel of Family Tech was on last week's show, and we touched on this topic a bit with her, so I asked her about online gaming safety, and this is what she had to say.
My big thing is to never share any personal information. So with gaming online, there's chat, and a lot of malicious people will ask for your Snapchat or ask, how to contact you outside of the game. And, my thing is always never share any personal information, not with the city you live in, the state you live in, anything that can be, your school, anything that can be linked to you directly.
Mm-hmm. Right.
And then on top of that, never share any of your social handles or anything, because those are also personal information that can be linked to you. And then this is really how people get to your kids, is to take the conversation out of the game onto a different platform. And then that's where they're going to start their grooming and everything. So just making sure that any chats or anything that you have online, keep it, game specific and no personal information.
So now we'll kind of move on from the human aspect of gaming to talk more about the games themselves. It used to be that games only existed in the electronics section at your local Walmart, so parents had to go and take their kids to get a game. Now, most games can be downloaded right from home, and this can be a big issue for parents. You need to know the games that your kids are playing, and they need to ask permission before getting a new game. If you don't know what the game is that your kids want, then first go to YouTube with your kid and tell them to find videos of that game to show you why they like it. This will give you a better feel for what the game is and why your kid wants to play it. If there's some hesitation here, you're going to want to dig into that a little bit and see why they really want this game and why they don't really want to watch videos of it with you. Also, you have two good online resources at your disposal. Full release games are rated by the ESRB. If you want to go to their website, it's esrb.org and has a great explanation for the rating system. They even have a tools for parents section. Plus, there's an ESRB rating app that you can download and search for titles and see how they earned that rating, which is pretty cool, and from there you can make your decision. Another resource is Common Sense Media. They rate video games, movies, books, podcasts, apps, you name it. They have their own rating system separate from ESRB, and they can give you a little bit more details about that title. Now, I do suggest that you fully read the review and not just glance at their rating. You want to make sure that that title is in line with the values of your home. Lastly, I want to encourage you to play video games with your kids. Let the whole family in on the fun. Even if you're terrible at it, it's okay. It'll be funny. I never thought in my entire life that my wife and I would sit and play Minecraft with our son, but it was such a good time. It builds understanding and gives you insight into how your kids respond to all sorts of situations. My son even has me playing Fortnite, and you know what? I like spending that time with him. I think there's an evolution with kids and playing with their parents. It starts with reading books, playing with toys, playing sports, and even playing video games. Go on this journey with your kids. It will take you to some exciting places. Well, that's everything that I have for the Secure Dad podcast for today. Thank you, friend, for listening. Don't forget to enter to win a flip lock and a few things from the Secure Dad at the link in today's show notes. Stay tuned after this episode for a special bonus episode where I recap my 10 bold predictions for 2022. Next week, I'm excited to share my conversation with Pat Watson of Uncensored Tactical. Pat and I have a great conversation about dogs and how they can help protect your family. I'm Andy Murphy, and until next time, take care and have a Merry Christmas.